Howdy, darling Taurus. How are you doing? So we're going to be getting into your weekly tarot reading in this video right now. All right. So we're going to be talking about your relationships, your social relationships. We're going to be talking, just your general tarot reading for this week, Taurus, as well as we're going to get into your oracle reading at the end of this video. So if that sounds good to you, darling, then keep on watching. Alrighty, Taurus. So let's get right into your tarot reading here. I feel like you have been battling a lot of personal demons. You, Taurus, for your beginning of your year here, you have been really, I feel like you've been detaching from a lot. You've been having a lot of certain ideas of what it is that you want to do here, Taurus, but it's like you're suffering from like something going on internally. I don't know if it's like your imposter syndrome. You might even be asking yourself the question of like, what is fulfilling you at this time, Taurus, right? So let's start with the back of the deck energy here being the death card. All right, so this just confirms what I already was feeling intuitively for you, Taurus, right? You are letting go of a lot here. It feels to me just overall, Taurus, you are just really detaching, spending the month of January to detach yourself from, especially just due to what's going on in your social life. Like you are really separating yourself, Taurus, from people that are just not good for you anymore. And I feel like it's gives me this sense, Taurus, where it's like the people that you have surrounded yourself with, the people that you thought were on your team just really turned out to not be on your team here. All right, getting into your just general tarot reading today, Taurus, you have the Ace of Pentacles, the Queen of Wands, and then the Page of Swords here. So it's like you have a lot of ideas, you have a lot of things that you've kept in your mind that would be either insanely profitable for you if we're talking about your career and just financial stuff, or just in general with like your earthly desires. Like you're just really wanting to check off like the big goals on your to-do list, Taurus, right? And I feel like you have been searching for something that would just give you like this sense of freedom with this Queen of Wands here, Taurus. All right, and just based off of your social, I really do, I'm not really one, Taurus, to like blame like the people in your environment and stuff like that. Like I'm very much so introspective here, but it does feel to me, Taurus, where it's just like the people that you have surrounded yourself with in the past, like I get like the sense of like it really like demotivated you from feeling like you could do anything that could like that would give you fulfillment. All right, Taurus. And on some level as well, I feel like they like certain people in your life really have just done nothing but bring obstacle after obstacle, a lot of drama for you to have to personally manage here, Taurus. And so right off the bat for you here, Taurus, it really wouldn't surprise me if you're spending this first portion of this month where you're just like, what do I need to do? Who do I need to let go of so I can create this future that you want for yourself, right? So you can go after your goals here. And so I like this energy quite a bit, though I can I will say, Taurus, that this does feel a little bit heavy. Like I feel like you've been very introspective here. All right, Nine of Swords in your social portion as well. So it's almost this sense, Taurus, where it's like you have a lot of anxiety right now when you're going to sleep at night. You have a lot on your mind, but I feel like as each day goes by, for you, Taurus, you're really taking care of like what has been giving you anxiety and really trying to like, I feel like you understand the bigger purpose. You understand like the destination that you're trying to go to. All right now you're very uncomfortable and just like having to let go of quite a bit here, but in the name of healing, honey. All right, with this Three of Swords here. So it's kind of like this interesting dynamic, Taurus, where it's just like, yeah, you're having to kind of hurt your own feelings a little bit, hurt other people's feelings, unfortunately, because you probably need to just set certain boundaries here. But I do get, especially with this Knight of Wands. Now this card did come in into the reverse, Taurus. All right, but I don't usually like holding cards upside down because it's like, girl, you can't see the card. What is the purpose in even having them shown to you if you can't see it properly, right? But I really do feel like for you, Taurus, it's time for you to start surrounding yourself with better people. All right. And I know it's like, I feel like you are like the big fish in the pond that you are in. And so I feel like the people that are watching me right now are the type of Tauruses that are very much so like the go-getters. Like you have all these grand ideas, like these things that you want to create and chase after, Taurus. But then, and like you as this Queen of Wands here, right? Because it's just like you're really chasing after a passion, and it's just like, what's something that feels right to you. It's like you're trying to have other people in your life understand where you're coming from and want to be part of that journey. But all that you're really getting in result is this Knight of Wands energy, where it's like this Knight of Wands energy, it has its time and place, but the Knight of Wands, excuse me, Taurus, The Knight of Wands is somebody who just isn't quite ready or isn't at the same caliber that the Queen of Wands is in. Girl, focus on these cards, right? So it's like it's like you've really outgrown like your circle of people, I feel, Taurus. That's like overall what I would summarize this energy as. It's just like you're understanding that in order to build the future that you want for yourself, in order for you to chase after your dreams here with that star, it's time for you to start surrounding yourself with people that will actually give just as much as you do, right? And so it's like I feel like you always were like the support system for people. I feel like you always were the one to help stabilize other people's lives, but then it's just you're left then with the question where it's just like, okay, well, Taurus, that's fabulous, like you're a good person, you know, you're a people pleaser, Taurus, but it's like, where does Taurus fit into this picture? Where do your dreams, where do your desires come in? All right, I get like this message as well, Taurus, where it's just like you can't just because you can see the potential in somebody else does not mean that you can help them live up to that potential. And you know, like living in this life, honey, being a human, being a grown adult, darling, it's a full-time job for us to even take care of our own selves and live our own life, you know. And it gives me like this sensation where it's just like you have been trying to help other people live their lives, right? And you know, that sounds fine and dandy, right? If everyone had like this team aspect where it's just like we're all in this together, honey, right? But that just isn't the reality right now, unfortunately. Or at the very least, it may have started out that way for you, Taurus, but I feel like as time has gone on, like it just started becoming less of a mutual type of relationship. You know, there's a scientific word for it where it's just like you both gain from it, to now it's like it's starting to kind of unintentionally be like a parasitic type of relationship where it's just like the people that you're around, you know, your energy is really addictive as this Queen of Wands. Like it's really important for you to protect your energy, to protect your space, Taurus, because I'm noticing even still, like we have the Knight of Swords here. Like you have all this like young energies that don't really know who, like energies, people who don't really know who they quite are. Like they still have a little bit more maturing to go. And then it's just like, all right, darling, like Taurus, are you going to just continue wait until these people are done maturing? Or are you going to just be like, you know what, you can catch up with me later on if you want to, but I gotta go. All right. And I feel like it's time for you to go. All right. While it might hurt some people's feelings, well, initially for you as well, you know, with what it is that you've been having to let go of, whatever it is for you, Taurus, hasn't really felt too good for you. But I feel like at the end of the day here, this is what's necessary for you, right? And you're coming at this, I feel at least, from a very mature place. And so, yeah, Taurus, let's get into your social reading now, all right? Because this is where like the heavy stuff is, darling, all right? Heavy, and it's just like, I feel like it's in some ways for you, Taurus, like it's good that we're bringing this to your awareness, all right? So in your relationships, Taurus, we have the Nine of Swords, the Five of Wands here, and then the Ten of Swords in the reverse, all right? And so all heavy cards, you know. I feel like for you, Taurus, you're going like, the only thing I really want to be saying for you, Taurus, is like, I feel like you set boundaries, or you know, with people in your life, and it's just like you start out really strong where you're just like, hey, like you can't be acting this way around me, you know, like you make it known what it is like is a problem. And I feel like, Taurus, it has just gotten to the point where it's just like you're going into like the same cycle with certain people. And so I feel like you're at a point now where it's like you really need to be crossing your arms and just not making yourself accessible, Taurus. If someone slaps you, honey, Taurus, right? If someone slaps you and you just say, hey, that hurts, you know, how many more times are you going to consistently, every single time that they slap you, Taurus, and you're just like, hey, that hurts, can you stop? Like, you know, how many times has this happened, Taurus? You know, it's like, when is enough going to be enough? Where it's like when they slap you, honey, like you're gonna be like, you know what, peace. Now I'm not going to say what I would personally do, honey, because I'm not one to condone violence to other people, honey, but you know, I feel like it's time for you to just be like, no, like I've had enough. Because I do feel like for you, Taurus, it's, you will start out really being like, no, I've had enough, and you start walking away, but then it gets to that point where people, you know, tug on your heartstrings, Taurus, because again, you're like a little bit of a people pleaser. Nothing bad about it, it just means you're a good person, Taurus. and then you end up getting caught into the same cycles again, and the same patterns. And it's just like there's just, I feel like people in general really have complicated your life more than necessary. I really wouldn't be surprised, Taurus, if during this month of January that you consistently hear back from these people wanting to just be part of your life again. Three of Wands here in the reverse, the Emperor card, and then the Seven of Swords, right? Yeah, Taurus, I really do feel like for you, what's really important for you to break this cycle in your life, or to break, to break free of this pattern. I keep on being shown like a circle, and so it's like I'm being shown like pattern, cycle, what have you, towards like I feel like you're really wanting to have 2023 be very different for you. And what's necessary for you, Taurus, is to really, just because you get yourself at a good place, right? You put some boundaries up with some people in your life, family, friends, romantic relationships. And then that's how you start gaining your power. You start really going after your, taking action towards the things that you've been wanting to do. And then I feel like I just want you to be careful towards when it's just like when you're at this really good place in your life and you start really feeling more and more empowered, that the people that end up communicating with you again, and it's just like, oh, hey, Taurus, time has gone by, let's reconnect, how does things feel? Taurus, just let it go. All right. Again, I feel like this is just like you've really it speaks to me where it's like some type of relationship has really just run its course here. And like if you were to re-engage with certain people that you cut out of your life, even if they have the best intentions, like you're going to just get caught back up into their dramas, their problems again. And on some level here, I really wouldn't be surprised if there's some type of jealousy going on from their end. And I don't even think they're quite aware about it either. Like I feel like it's a little bit of a subconscious thing towards, right? So just be aware about it. I'm not gonna, at the end of the day, I'm not here to tell you what to do with your life, but it is what it is. So let's get into your oracle reading for today, Taurus, and see what messages your spirit guides, your ancestors, your future self, what messages they have for you. All right, first card coming, wow, interesting, darling. All right, first oracle card coming in for you, Taurus, is the Butterfly Spirit. Transformation is beautiful. Now, I'm very big on numerology, Taurus. So in numerology, this is the number 11, which is a master number. All right, master numbers are really powerful. I'm going to just suggest for you to write down the number 11 to look up at a later point in time and see what messages that has for you, because there is something very relevant for you in that way. But transformation is beautiful. This is ultimately what I've been kind of saying for you this entire time, Taurus, where it's like you have been on this path of transformation, but it's like right before you finish like the cocooning phase, it's like someone hits you up and it's just like, oh, Taurus, can you help me out with X, Y, and Z? Can you, they interrupt the transformation process. And I really do feel like for you, Taurus, it's really important for you to just fully commit to the transformation process, regardless of who is knocking on your door, or even if what's knocking on your door is like your own inner thoughts really trying to sabotage you, keeping you back into that small pond. All right. You have the first quarter moon in Leo as well, being humble. All right. Being humble with this transformation is beautiful. Now, why are we calling out you, Taurus, for being humble here? Four of Cups coming in here. So, this is where the brutal truth is. And then the Strength card coming in here is all double Leo energy. All right. So this is the honest truth here, my beautiful Taurus. All right. I feel like when you are on this path of transformation in your life for this year, as you acknowledge that you are this big fish on this pond right now, and you've outgrown certain people. There is this little bit of a ego check from your spiritual team where it's just like, hey, Taurus, like, yes, you've outgrown these people, but let's shift the way that we're seeing shift how you are approaching this journey. All right. Instead of seeing this from a place where it's just like, what, these people are just lesser, these people, and now I'm not saying that you think people are beneath you or anything like that, Taurus, but there is like a little bit of a call out here where it's just like, rather than making like your success story or like your future to be like revenge on proving something to other people or anything like that, just kind of like make certain people irrelevant in your life, honey. All right. When I decided to go no contact from pretty much like all of my family, it finally gave me the freedom of no longer creating content with something in the back of my mind, thinking that these family members are going to watch my content and they're going to have whatever opinion that they have. I just make it more so about me. All right. And this isn't me saying just like, oh, you don't want those low vibrations, girl, I don't care about that. Like, we are humans having a human experience, but it is necessary. Like, if someone is truly irrelevant irrelevant in your life. You're not going to make your future successes about them. They're not going to be a thought in your mind. All right, Taurus? Like, again, I really do feel like for you to fully envelop this full transformation process, you need to just kind of, be very much so tunnel visioned and just focus on the goal outside, like what it is that you're leaving in the past, what is going on around you. It's completely irrelevant. You're keeping your eyes on the prize because that's what it is that you're wanting. All right. And so, whatever pep talk that was for you, Taurus, I hope it was helpful. And I hope something in here resonated with you. And I'll connect to you sometime in the near future. Bye, my darling Taurus.